much more of a jazz soundtrack. This is just the demo version of the game. The game is not actually released yet. It is supposed to be available next month. So yeah, this is from, I guess, DimleTeam, it would be. I'm reading it, so I don't know exactly how it should be pronounced, but there you have it. And yeah, as we'll switch over, you can see slightly obscured, there is a story mode thing. There's also not a windowed mode on this demo, so I'm not going to be able to read chat very easily. So my apologies in advance, and be nice. So the story on the page, it says, "Attention, my plush fellow citizens. The enemy is already on the border of our motherland, the Carrot Republic. 3 guesses why I'm interested in this game." I have a brand. "Soldiers of the Cabbage Empire destroy our cornfields. Their steel boots trample our radishes, onions, and other greens. We can't retreat. There are only the plantation of carrots behind. We must fight back the enemy and remove his plush foot from our sacred land. Not one step back." So yeah, this is more of a level-based kind of shooter, as demonstrated by like having a story mode and stuff like that. There are even like there are bosses and everything. So let's see. Also, Windows Defender Firewall is blocking features of this app. There we go. Animation seems a little stiff, but we're just running around, so not much. You can change weapons with the mouse wheel. We Fortnite now, I guess. Good timing on the music, if nothing else. It's very adaptive music. Also a bit abrupt with the shift, but that's fine. Okay, the enemies actually do like attack. I think we got through the entire first wave without getting shot at or anything. Do we interact, or we're just automatically filled up? We just automatically filled up. It looks like these are supposed to be foxes. Oh, we're getting swarmed now. Okay. They're coming at us from all sides. All right then. That's an appropriate experience to have wandering through the middle of a graveyard. Can I hit the ammo thing twice because we're actually really low already? No. So maybe that'll be a problem, depending on how the next wave looks. But there is this. Yep. I had a feeling that would be a thing. I also feel like the ones that shoot at you, like, the hit is basically instant. Gotta conserve a little ammo at this point. Like, pretty empty. There's also like no tutorial aspect. Like we just jump straight in. Okay, there's some ammo. I will say, like, I was concerned about the animation initially. The music is it's becoming a bit weird. Also feel like we're not seeing much animation on the enemies. I feel like that's the one aspect of this that's grabbing me the most in like a criticism way. It's just like getting feedback on what's happening with the enemies and feeling like you're moving around at a reasonable pace. It does like background load sections, so that's good. Yeah, there's like no feedback on like when you get hit. I would say like that sort of stuff, like animation type stuff, is the main issue that I'm having out of the gate. Feels like there's not much feedback and it feels slow. Some of that might be just coming at this from the last game, which felt pretty fast. So that might just be a comparative thing. I also don't, cause like I'm trying to think, what do I immediately compare this to? Because I feel like it's always at least an easy way to express, you know, what something is and where it's going. And I don't think I know enough games like this to say. Anyway, as far as like enemy types, it seems to just be your basic rushers, your basic grunts, and then some gunmen. Although we are only on the first level, so who knows for sure. Also, I should have like baited them into the explosive barrel, because that's clearly a thing. Oh. These are at least like well paced. The health and ammo crates, like I was just getting out of that engagement like I could use some more ammo, and there it is. So you know what, props for that in terms of the pacing. It leaves you feeling like a little nervous, but it's manageable. Didn't seem like you could change weapon while reloading. Honestly, I would just like to see like a little health bar over enemies. That would be like, that would be such a good indicator, just to know that like you're making progress on something. This is also a health bit that is very hidden. And a shop. Not available in demo version. Fair enough. But that is like what we're doing with the money, I suppose. As for like graphical stuff, about what I expect, honestly. doesn't look bad by any stretch. I don't know why we're getting 20 for these when the ones a moment ago we got 10 for. And not like just the ones that we exploded. I don't know what these cake things are about though. That's another thing. There are cakes happening and I don't know why. There are squirrels carrying cakes, and I'm confused. Yeah, this is a bit of an odd experience at the moment. We have squirrels carrying cakes, tigers rushing us down, and there's surf music. And someone is summoning a tree, I guess? That would explain the candles. The animation cycle broke on our melee for a moment. Yeah, again, like we're getting shot at and it completely does not match the animation. We are very nearly dead. Yeah, I feel like this level is kind of balanced around being able to use the shop, and we can't. So that was a precarious situation we just found ourselves in, to say the least. We get ammo filled. Do we get health filled? Or are we just dead on the next wave? Because you know there's going to be a wave soon. Yep. Defeat. I don't even know what happened there. I think obviously we got hit. Probably we got shot by something, but I didn't see any shot happen. So again, just feedback in the animations is a thing. The fact that this has like a reasonable checkpoint system is pretty nice though. Like that wasn't that far back that we got sent, I would say. It seemed to store our like health situation and it filled our ammo to full. I think it filled our ammo to full. May have been like the first wave is all like really easy enemies. Oh, pff, blew ourselves up. I don't know what the explosion radius is on that though. Like obviously we were in it, so there's that, but I think that's kind of what these complaints keep coming back to. I'm wondering if like our movement is summoning an extra wave that it's not supposed to. Like we went too far to the right and that brought in the grunts kind of prematurely. Also, the ones with guns, you really have no ability to dodge them or anything. I know I'm like throwing around a lot of negatives on this, but I don't know, I feel like these are important elements of a game like this, the the feedback and that sort of stuff. Things like the ammo constraint, like you don't get much ammo. For a first level and being early in it, that kind of makes sense. Because again, there's the shop. That's clearly something you're supposed to go do. And it's kind of balanced towards that, it would seem. But when you can't do that in the demo, it's a bit tricky. Also, clearly from like the story description, there's supposed to be a degree of like cutesiness to the whole thing. Because it's supposed to be like plush animals fighting, more or less. But then they kind of splatter in blood, and like when you're damaged, you get that really like Call of Duty, Wolfenstein kind of, constricting, bloodshot sort of thing. And it's not unheard of to have like that contrast, like that's a thing. So I'm not going to criticize that so much. Actually, I do like it when games kind of, do that whole contrasting sort of thing. It just feels like this game isn't taking advantage of it yet. That's something that I hope changes as we go along, and maybe it changes in like the full game. But out of the gate, it doesn't feel like that adds very much. And I would hope that it does, because that could be an interesting kind of vibe to go with. And I'm sure, like, I know that's been done. I've seen it done. But that doesn't mean you can't do it again. If you're able to take an idea that's been done and give it a different spin, maybe add to it in some clever way, that's great. I do appreciate how it seems like the enemies come out of literally nowhere. Well, let me rephrase that. Mechanically, it seems like they come out of nowhere, but their spawns are always just off screen enough, or just obscured somehow. Like, a couple spawned behind this tree. So, well, actually a bunch just did that again. Okay, so we're kind of screwed here. Thanks to all these gunmen that we can't really do anything about. So like, there's a complaint. This is also kind of odd. It sent us all the way back to the beginning. Yeah, it sent us all the way back. So that's clearly just a busted checkpoint. Like, that was not how that was supposed to go. This one where I'm like a little... you could hear I was being negative from the start. Unfortunately. So we're gonna call this one pretty quickly, unfortunately. Just because, one, there's not a lot going on, unfortunately. It was basically just like walk around, wave shows up, kind of walk backwards and shoot them down. With the added problem of like the ones that shoot at you and you have no real ability to react or handle that. I think those, in terms of enemies, are the biggest problem. Even if they were just slightly inaccurate, I think that would be fine. But when they are like perfectly accurate and you can't really handle them, I feel like in a game like this, you should always be able to complete an engagement without taking any damage. I think that should always be theoretically possible. You have to be really good, but I think it should always be possible. I don't know that it's possible here because of those enemies. And I feel like that's a design flaw. It's also just, you know, pretty slow overall. So, you know, that's not a fan. In general, it's like, I don't know, I feel like it had potential to be really interesting. I think there's something that can be done with the whole, like, one with the whole aesthetic approach. Like the contrast between cute and fluffy and bloody murder. Again, it's been done, so we know it can be done well. And I would like to have seen like a fresh approach to it. But there's not much meat on these bones, unfortunately. Graphically, like visually, that's all fine. Nothing like exceptional, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. Again, animation feedback, that's the huge shortcoming that it has visually. But I would say a lot of what I'm seeing as problems with Hanz just come down to like the gameplay feel. That's kind of all it is. And the fact that we died near the end and it sent us all the way back to the beginning, that was really strange. I'm imagining that's a bug, but it's not the best look, you know? So, yeah, that is that one.